Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to LEGO DC Supervillains. So the time has finally come to try and make a mad dash to get to the red brick. So we're going to just, in free play mode, skip entire sections of each level. I'm going to pick, I guess, our default custom character, and we'll stick with that. And then it's going to give us a collection of other custom characters. I assume we're going to get these loading sections, and I'm going to hit start and try and hold Y to skip these sections if we can, but I wouldn't be surprised if it takes a lot of time to load, and so there was several seconds there in which it was not letting me skip. Okay. We kind of know where this is. Let's see if we can find a character. Like, we're not really looking for studs in this, but I think we're gonna have to be somewhat careful moving too far, because we may walk right past where the red brick is, and the red brick is gonna just be the trickiest of the thing to find. You can see this guy is doing a great job of letting me smash things, which can clear up anything. Okay. I doubt the red brick was up there. Because we haven't unlocked a bunch of random characters, they defaulted to very recognizable characters, which is very helpful in free play mode, and that's why you want to unlock your characters at the very last second, which also means that's the exact point where you're going to realize that you're never going to actually play with the vast majority of the minifig characters in LEGO games. And that just highlights that they've gone too crazy with the minifig idea. The numbers are just getting bigger and bigger as a sales pitch. It feels like more than as a legitimate form of value add. It really just is not valuable to have as many characters as this game does. Particularly when you're talking the villains. Villains would have been a great point to say, hey, let's scale the number down and just focus on the major characters. Like, just focus on people like Batman, Harley Quinn and Joker and characters like that. Just trying to make sure I break everything and know whether I've done my due diligence. These guys are dropping what feels like a lot more studs than what they would have dropped originally. I feel like that's probably a case where they sneakily turned her into Harley Quinn. They turned me into Harley Quinn, yeah they did. Because I would have been the only character. Okay. There's our red brick. Let's collect it. So, exit level, save and exit. That's all we cared about, was getting the gold brick. And if that gold brick is score times 2, that's more's the better, because then we can go purchase score times 2 as far as getting just the double amount of studs. There is actually no score in this version of this Lego game. Helium mode, not useful, so no reason to buy that. Let's go ahead and hit Y and skip and just try to be as efficient as possible. Multiple prompts at the at this end point where you can skip, and then a lot of stuff you just won't be able to skip, such as this loading screen, which I haven't shown this loading screen much, but you can see how there's an apocalypse in the top right corner. I don't believe there originally was that. Alright, next level. And again, most logically makes sense to play as a custom character because they have quite a few abilities.
Hey, Lois, I got it working. Sure, Jimmy. Give me a minute.
So, when you have these load-in sections, you just have to hit start until it says hold to skip, and then hold Y to skip. And that's several seconds. And then there's no skipping this part. Me pressing Y just made me a bigger character. Okay. If I recall correctly, we did not...
This is your only warning. The reverse flash.
Who has the silver explosive ability? Do we have anybody with a flying ability? Almost everybody has a smash the ground ability, which can be somewhat useful. Is it in here? Okay. So we're trying to figure out whether I need to move the story forward or whether there's some other trick. Like, you have this whole band on green Lego studs. Is there a way that I could possibly stop them from playing music? There we go. Let's open this.
This goes beyond my particular skills.
Ah, here we go. I think we found it here. Okay, we found something different. Yeah. Generally, for a kids game, you would want it to be more obvious as to where you're going and what you're doing. Like, you should see the red brick even if you don't understand where the red brick is. Let's just fly this plane and see if this moves us any further.
All right, everyone. Goes over. Come along quietly on with our day, shall we?
So, I don't know if there's any specific character here that's better at taking out this guy. I would say Harley Quinn with a big hammer probably stands a good chance of being a little bit easier to fight with. Of course, the danger here is that this is going to end the whole fight and I was supposed to do something else. It moved me. So here we have a Riddler box. If anything, this is probably the last point, and this is only like the second level. This is the last point where they're really working around the idea that you would play as multiple villains to accomplish your goal, and each villain would have special abilities that was unique to them. By the time we get to even the third or fourth level, it seems all way more generic. Now you can play as the Penguin instead of the Riddler. We're switching characters on you, which is not really compatible with free play mode as much as you would like it to be. I wonder if there's a chance that a game like this might get a worse age rating because you're beating up police as villains. I could see it potentially happening. But I've never really heard examples of complaints about the ESRB rating kids games as not kids games because you're playing as the bad guy. Whereas the Australian ratings board, in contrast, almost certainly would have a complaint there. Or something like the Australians rating board. Maybe not even the Australian rating board would care. There's a mini kit here, but none of my characters seem to have an ability. There you go. I needed to fire it. Oh, I guess there might be some actual graffiti on the top of the mini kits. It's just hard to see. That was not the button I was trying to press. I was trying to swap between characters, and they've changed the buttons from the other LEGO games to add in the photo mode button. Fight fire with fire. Okay, so Aquaman put out the fire. That didn't seem to do anything else, though. So I'm gonna just have to assume that this is the next step. Inevitably, we are going to end up coming back and doing all of these levels a second time. So, we need the flash guy, I think. And then now we've got we need a plant character, which I guess is our custom character. And then we put that together to make a red brick, which that's the first time I've ever seen that done. That really breaks the idea that red bricks are a solid single Lego brick, and it totally changes the idea of where red bricks should be and where we're going to have to look for red bricks, and it just really tells me that this is just going to be more difficult than it should be. Red bricks should have been visible the whole time, and that fish should have been the exact shade of red, if that was the case. And there's different graffiti on that mini kit than there is on the other one. Alright, so that was paint splat footprints, which that too, it's not going to be useful. We're not going to unlock new characters, I'm sure, for what we're doing at the moment. So far we've spent nearly 20 minutes to do 2 levels, with a significant amount of that being loading in and out of the open world, which honestly it should just pop up a question. We have gone from 29.6 to 30.8. Like, when we end the level, it should just pop up this menu and say, hey, do you want to select a different level, or do you want to go to the overworld? Or press B to go to the overworld. Right. Next. Because we are wasting a lot of time loading. Now, you're not going to save yourself 100% from loading if you jumped from the end of one level to the beginning of another level, but it would be
Owlman stopped the Joker when she and
some savings, certainly.
nothing about getting the lowdown on.
That really does go to highlight that there's just not that much as far as backstory on the Justice Syndicate, Crime Syndicate. They really should have been more focused on. Okay. Again, now we're in the Star's lab, and we're looking for the red brick somewhere. Let's do this. Okay. This really could just be the behind any door. Let's just spin. Let's see how fast we can spin. What's interesting is you look at how her feet are, and she just kind of rotates and pivots as she approaches where she's about to land. Definitely gives the feeling that mini game was barely designed to work. Okay, well, might as well grab it. Grab a mini kit while we're doing it. There's a blue stud there telling me that there was a collectible down there first. Okay. Super strength on this side. Who has the ability to see in the dark? This guy does. Now we've got this red vision because Cyborg has, I guess, custom red vision, infrared type vision. And I guess we have a certain number, one of these that we need to hit. We need to actually hit them. So it's a speed lab challenge.
Is it cold or is it just me?
I guess I need to be the reverse flash when I start that. Come on, hit it. As a reverse flash, if I don't get stuck anywhere, it does look doable. But you're gonna have to work your way up. Seriously? Did I not get it in time, or is there literally just no reward? Yeah, it just didn't move fast enough.
My research to find items seemingly impossible location is going.
Alright, well, that's that level. That does open up a new doorway that we're going to run into a lot of levels now that have like super fast time challenges. But honestly, we probably are only going to see it 2 or 3 more times. We are just increasingly finding fairly easy mini kits. Big head mode, once again, not useful. Yeah, almost certainly the red bricks we're looking for are the last few red bricks levels that have red bricks in them. But we might as well just go through them all in one quick episode, which arguably this will just be one quick episode. We can get around to the loading. Harley and Ivy is next. It should have a default just to start on your favorite character. There's easy enough ways to say, hey, press a button here to mark it as your favorite character or your favorite loadout. Inherently, having different loadouts or have the characters unlock as loadouts would make more sense. Like, the evolution of these LEGO games would be to say every level is going to have 3 or 4 characters as part of a loadout, if not 5 or 6.
I am the knight.
My plans are calling to me. I mustn't fail.
Yeah. Let's see what's over here. This is all just the normal stuff. Yeah, we know where this is. We know that this is way up there. So let's
handle this.
switch to Sinestro, who can fly, and just go ahead and skip to this point. Come on, who are we looking for to spray paint? There we go. Harley Quinn. Still getting a tutorial even with the left stick showing up as a prompt when probably isn't necessary. Okay. Now this was the point where it was very glitched. So, want to be fairly careful. We have somebody that can blow up this. That's the default thing. And see, they mentioned this like TV show and it really played no role. Like it didn't play any role in the story when it really feels like it should have played a role in the story. hope I didn't screw up here. No, I don't think I did. I think the red brick is probably further along. And this is just a really kind of long level. There you go. Took 2 tries, but Ivy. Put those 2 ingredients in. Spawned. Again, did not mean to hit that button. I hope I'm right about this. I think I'm right about this. And since we're in free play mode, standing on just 2 of these will activate it if it's programmed correctly. Oh man, there was a whole nother section I missed.
I suppose if you're going to handle roses, you have to expect a few thorns.
Let's see, I guess the question is, can we go down? The answer seems to be no. We have a bunch of tables that maybe we could break. I think there's a decent chance, though, I've missed something. That being said, the fact that there's a item this way up there might give me some hope. We may very well be in a situation where a lot of these levels have something secret just way up in the air for all the flying characters that exist. Man, it was somewhat obvious that as soon as we got into free play, this was going to happen a lot, where I was just going to accidentally go into photo mode because only the right bump now switches between your free play characters. Okay. Let's see what Sinestro does here. Okay, we found it. That I got lucky. There were several places there where it could have been. And basically every single character seems to have a unique line for finding something special. So yeah, I'm gonna have to be a lot more careful about skipping sections. I guess the good news is that there probably aren't too many sections like that, though, where you even have a top floor and a bottom floor, or multiple subsections in a section of levels. Collecting guide studs might be worth it, but it's not worth purchasing until we know the price for at least studs times 2, if not studs times 3 and 4. Mostly you just want to get collecting guide studs when you are in the overworld, and even at that you're going to need to set a waypoint to be able to collect guide studs for any real return on that investment. And you still would have to walk around because the guide studs would be on the ground, so anything that would speed you up, such as flying, is going to be out the window. Yeah, but if you just had a group of 5 as far as loadout 1 is unlocked, and then the next level loadout 2 is unlocked, and then instead of picking a single character to play as, you pick a character amongst your loadout, and then that was your default character that you always play as. That would be an evolution of this idea as they add more and more characters, because they really have just gone off the rails with the number of suits and outfits and characters. It's way more minifigs in these games than you would ever see sold by Lego. It almost feels like you are getting... Interesting, the audio messed up there. I totally forgot about this character even existing. Yeah, the audio stuttered when... Really not a good reason, an excuse for that. So you run around in circles. Let's see where this takes us. Probably to a whole different area that we didn't even see before. Yep. Seems like that is exactly the case. Hugo Strange and the Monster Man. Totally just an unimportant character. So tap B, tap B, then tap B a bunch more. Otherwise it's going to mess up. There's basically nothing here. So we saw some Lego bricks get ejected. I think you just are going to have a character that can fly.
It's the return of the brilliant
These pieces are not supposed to be down here. Nobody can fly. The atom can shrink. But if any character was going to fly, it would have been our custom character. And we came through that hole. guess we'll see if maybe photo mode works for us. Let's take a photo of the exact same character twice, just in case there's an achievement for that. Right. If we go through here, that's where we came through. So I built the thing up there that I wasn't supposed to be able to do. I'll just try every character's abilities. Yeah. Okay, well then let's just run around and see if maybe there's another entrance to a higher plane, or if maybe there's something more to this. We don't even know if that is where the red brick is, so we don't want to get too stuck up on it. And it's far too laid back for a boss fight, really, when you're doing this in free play mode. It's just like, yeah, knock me over, kill me, what do I care? And you're just jumping on this until it turns green multiple times. Click that. Yep. Can't walk in on that. Interesting. This is an interesting idea of just like a stealth let's hide concept. Which that is a gimmick that certainly you could add to LEGO games. That they just didn't really embrace it much in this game, and I don't think they would embrace it much in any future game. You inherently have this weirdness, certainly, where it almost just doesn't matter what was added to LEGO games before the LEGO Skywalker Saga reboot with the new engine, because at that point they're just going to change everything. Okay, we want to figure out a way to open that potentially. That sounds like water and that feels like water. There's all these places where you can like electrify steps and start fire and hurt these guys. Maybe we need to hurt him a little bit before. What am I supposed to be doing? Like, I don't even think we're in that chase sequence yet. Where he's actually supposed to be chasing after me. So, kind of obviously, it makes a lot of sense that you would do better if you played the levels, duties level in free play mode right after you played the story mode, so you just have a general idea of what's going on in the story. So there's fire and electrical panels. Although it seems like if you hit the fire or electrical panels, it's not hurting him anywhere as much as it seems like it should. And that really turns it into a run and gun sequence. Okay. I just don't think most kids would ever figure out that they were supposed to hide. It feels like a lot of this stuff is respawning. Either that or there's just a lot of these alcoves, more than you actually would need. Okay, back out here. Back in here we go. Does anybody... Well, it seems like we could just cheat here. Okay, well then let's do that. We need a flying character. Would that be Black Bolt? Or Black Adam? I guess I've been calling them Black Bolt. Yeah. From the looks of it, you just needed a flying character, and of the characters they gave me, I just don't think I had one. She doesn't fly, but she kind of hovers. And so I guess maybe that was good enough. And black, or whatever this lady's name is, she turns into a lightning bolt when you're in these levels, which confuses the issue quite a bit. So that was weird. Swap to Joker. Grab the henchman again, and then start pulling down this wall. Which I have to assume there's a red brick back behind this.
Who has everything. Just my socks.
And exit the level now. That was a lot of work, and if anything, that indicates that it's going to be a lot more work when we actually start to play all the levels in free play. What at times were going to be 15-20 minute levels may turn into 30-45 levels. Mini kit detector would very much be useful when playing in free play mode. Not super useful in the overworld. Plus, still not a stud multiplier, and you really want to spend every single dime you have collected in studs on just the score multipliers alone until you have all of those unlocked and purchased. Then you can purchase whatever you want very easily, because you'll have effectively an infinite amount of studs at that point. So let's do this last one, and then that's just probably going to be this episode. So it's going to take us 2 episodes to find all the red bricks, and then hopefully not too much to actually get the unlocking and purchasing of the red bricks. And then we'll get into the overworld stuff. You have an issue certainly here in that sometimes pause or your start button promotes a skip to a cutscene, but a flyover cutscene like this is not one of those times. So, where do I think the red brick is? Could easily be almost anywhere. Any plants, everything like that. So let's start with just a flyover. Like it could be way up here. The game doesn't want to let me get to it. Way up here. Could be over here. See, that's the danger here, is that we're just gonna skip some section. Okay, we definitely didn't have Batman at that point. Feels like there's only a couple places this could go.
I have a things are about to get wide.
Stand aside. The real boss has arrived.
So we have another laser. Which, okay. That makes sense. And so this is probably a laser puzzles multiple times over. There we go. Then we'll just fly up. And grab it. And then exit the level. Save and exit. What would be annoying is if score times 2 cost like 4 million studs, and then I would still be 750,000. Now attract studs is probably worth getting, but only as just the absolute next thing you would want to get after getting the score multipliers. At the moment, since we are only looking for red bricks, we're not walking around a lot of studs, comparatively speaking, and we're not collecting a lot of studs. Okay, so we went from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 levels, which leaves us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So in an hour we did 5, we have 14 left, so I was thinking this was going to take 2 hours. It seems like it may take 4 hours to get all the red bricks, and at the moment it doesn't really make any sense to like fast travel to the red brick experiment shop. You can't even fast travel there. I'd have to walk there and purchase those red bricks, but none of them are score multipliers, so it doesn't really make a lot of sense. So we're making small bits of progress, not really in the overworld though, which has left us jumping from about 29% to 32%, 32.8%, which it's not big numbers changing, but it's progress. We have 21 mini kits now. We have 113 of 270 characters and vehicles. We have 8 out of 20 red bricks. So of the 14 levels, actually 2 of them we already have red bricks, so we can skip those. We have 43 out of 224 gold bricks. We only have 2 of the graffitis and 1 of the statues, which the statues are in the overworld, and I'm fairly certain the graffitis are in the levels. And we have 11 of the 26 counted levels as far as true supervillain, which I don't believe probably includes a lot of the DLC levels. So yeah, still a lot of work to go before we even get to the free play section, and if we had played in a different order, it would have just made it a slower, grindier process. Like inevitably, somebody that wouldn't play with the score multiplier would almost certainly never be able to stick with this game long enough to beat the game and collect 100% of all the collectibles. Speaking of sticking to this game, the last 4 achievements that I collected were completed by 7 point some percentage, 25% of players. The Shazam level, and ranging from that. There's one that's looks like it might be 10% of players have completed. There's a lot of content here that obviously a lot of people, at least on Steam, did not ever play or get, which that kind of makes sense too. This is a kid's game. Almost certainly the Nintendo Switch version of this game runs a bit smoother without as many crashes and bugs, and was their main console that they were focusing on for kids. Even the PlayStation and Xbox versions of these games, which inevitably I assume existed, probably ran a bit smoother. It will be a big jump forward, certainly, if we see Steam Deck and Steam Deck-like computers becoming more popular. It'll be interesting to see if we start to see games become more optimized for those types of semi-consoles. That being said, I think kids are still not likely to play something like the Steam Deck or play this on a PC compared to the Switch. Some kids will, obviously, but not a lot. Because there will always be this thought process that the Nintendo games or the Nintendo consoles are cheaper than a PC. Unless we see the Steam Deck really lower its price to the point where it actually can compete, then that would be an interesting twist. Anyways, that's just speculation, so let's end this episode here. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to support me further, there's social media and support links down below in the description box. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.